Miles Sanders in the backfield, 2nd and 10. Averaging only 9.5 carries per game. Here's Sanders on 2nd down, gain of 3. There is a flag.
Holding. Defense. Number 90.
2nd down and 5 off the fake to Sanders. Hurts fires downfield, and the catch is made by Dallas Goedert. Zach Ertz, of course, now a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Gain of 24. Here's Sanders up the middle. Big hole. 2 tight end set. 2nd down and 1. It's Sanders again, his 4th carry. Has an Eagles 1st down. Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield. 3 tight ends for the Eagles. On 2nd and 9. Hurts over the top. It is caught and taken into the end zone by Gainwell for an Eagles opening drive touchdown.
And I would like to tell y'all, it was all downhill from there. All downhill from there. The rest of the time might have been like garbage time, but it was all downhill. I mean, they had a chance to make it a game, but a Driscoll hand, I don't know why it's back there, and gets caught up on the ball, and it's Jalen fumble when they go down to the end zone. But it seems like they imploded after that. It got really ugly, folks. That's all I can say to you.
Welcome, the Hood Announcement. This edition to the Hot Seat, we try to bring you a perspective of the 215 Delaware Valley and what really goes on with the heartbeat of Philadelphia and the sports that sets the tempo. Give me 3 for a quarter. See if you like it. Smell me?
Shh. Welcome to the Hot Seat, a segment of the Hood Announcement. Ooh, well. Where do you start about a game like that? You know what? Everyone knows the Eagles are the pulse of the Philadelphia city. You know what I mean? The Eagles, represent this town. I mean, to the fullest. We love our Sixers. We love our Phillies. When they winning, we love them all equally. But I think when it really comes down, if they did a real survey between all 3 of these teams and stuff like that, I think the Eagles would win. I think the Eagles would win, hands down. I mean, hands down. But I really feel sorry for the people who took the trip to go see this team, and go see that game. I mean, the Eagles faithful, we travel. People traveled for this. To see an inconsistent Nick Sirianni coach their beloved Eagles, who are sporadic at times. Nick Sirianni, who coaches it, who has no identity, who's a novelist, who's learning on the job. People are traveling to see this dude and this team, who's coaching a young man by the name of Jalen Hurts, who's new, who's a novelist, who's going through rookie struggles. Maybe a pass might be a little off to the left, might be off to the right, maybe too a little high and stuff like that. But you know what? You will always want your coach to have plays to settle him down. But I don't think Mr. Sirianni has those type of plays. His types of plays are little bubble screens that he calls they are another way to run the ball, but I don't think there's another way to run the ball, because if he throws the ball wrong to that way, it could be a fumble if it doesn't cross the certain line of scrimmage or is not in front of him. You know how that works out. It's not a run play, because why throw a pass to a receiver when when you don't really have good blocking receivers? So that's, the best way I would think for the Eagles, if they're going to call it a run ball, is to really let Jalen get up under their center and hand the ball off and let the running back do his job. How long is it going to take Nick Sirianni to learn his staff and his player personnel? We 7 games in, and this the first time we've seen Bart Scott, who knows how to run the ball in between the tackles. I feel sorry for the person who traveled a long distance to go see, who went to Vegas to go see this game. I did some things. I said, somebody paid some money to go see this game. Let me tell you something. To go see this game, these in Vegas, these seats were $300 a piece. You feel me? $300 a piece. So you figure if you and your lady or you and your homie go to this game, that's $600. Oh, but let's not stop there. Let's figure you going to the hotel. That's another $500. And that might be a day. You might want to stay a day or two. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money. Let's see, that's almost what 3-6. The ticket is what, 300 a piece, and the room is $5. That's a lot of money to be spending. Oh, and I didn't mention the plane ticket. $400. Let's just say the plane tickets. You know what I mean? And you got somebody with you. That's $800. So you figure $800 for a plane ticket, $300 a piece for the Eagles ticket. That's $600, and $500 for the hotel fee, and maybe a day. But I'm gonna wrap all that up to $1,900. Let's just say after you seen that losing joint, you say, all right, we leaving that same night, so that's $1,900. But if you don't, just put another $5 on it just in case you stay 2 nights. That's just ridiculous. I know somebody's hot. I know somebody is hot right now. Now, the Eagles came into that game. They were 72% against the pass. And Derek Carr came in and lighted them up. I think he finished that game with Derek Carr finished that game at 91%, 92, 90%, like that. He finished the game with 31 for 34. He had 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And it looked like Derek Carr was at practice playing 7-on-7 drill. This is really crazy, but you know what I mean? I mean, that's all I could say about that. I'm gonna read some things off to you. This is the Raiders' possessions. They had 11 plays for 66 yards, touchdown. They had 9 plays for 72 yards, touchdown. 10 plays for 96 yards, touchdown. 6 plays for 41 yards and a touchdown. 7 plays for 50 yards and a touchdown. 7 plays for 59 yards and a touchdown. All scoring drives. And this has been the theme for the last 2 weeks because Brady did it and Dak did it on these drives. Just consistent drives. You know what I mean? This is like a major problem on the defensive side of the ball. It's a real major problem. I mean, I'm gonna stick to our guns, and don't get it twisted. Our line is not doing too good neither, because it's like every down they're playing for a sack instead of sometimes for containment. That's why they got gassed with a lot of those screens and stuff like that. And our linebackers, you know how I feel about that. They're always on some running backs back and getting taken for a first down or getting taken for 2 or 3 yards. Like I tell you, they need to give these dudes some tokens or a kiosk card because they're taking our linebackers for a ride constantly. This team is in need of some safeties and some good linebacker. Howie Rosen really needs to, put some type of investment in it. I don't know how long Jeff Lurrie is going to let this go on. This is really ridiculous. You would think, I know teams don't do too good after a Super Bowl run, but this is too big of a drop off. Too big of a drop off from a team who just went to the Super Bowl. I mean, they're ready to blame things on Jalen. I mean, yes, Jalen is getting predictable and rolling out to the right, and teams are starting to roll out to the right, but that's up to the coach. Look, we're going to roll you out to the left. Look, we're going to give you a delay. Look, we're going to do a draw. He does none of that. He doesn't line him up under the center and don't let him hand that ball off to Bart Scott. I don't know how long Miles Sanders out, but you know what I mean? You finally get him going and stuff, you know what I mean? And he's going. Our first 8 plays, we got a touchdown. You know why? 5 of those plays were run plays, 3 were pass. But after that, he was back to throw it. And he's throwing in RPOs. The same thing Jalen ran when he was, I think, at Oklahoma State, and the same thing, Oklahoma. The same thing he ran there, and the same thing he ran in Alabama. And if you look at a lot of those highlights, Jalen, you know, he did a lot of running there too, but you would figure when you come to the NFL, you get a good veteran coach. He knows how to settle that down. He knows how to give him certain plays, but not this coach. You look at everything. Everything is an RPO from this coach. Even if he's in a shotgun, it's going to be an RPO. And if you're a defensive person, you're already saying, well, shoot. You know what I mean? I already know what they're getting ready to do. You know what I mean? They pass. They barely don't like to run. There's no deception in their plan. There's no, where's the scheme at? You know what I mean? There's, you know, you look at our linebackers, they just sit right there. They don't move up. They don't move back. They're waiting for you to come run over. You know what I'm saying? Something's wrong there. They're just sitting, waiting to be attacked. That ain't good. I mean, me, myself, it bothers me because, you know, I've been watching Philadelphia Eagles football since maybe like, you know, let me see. Yeah, okay. I could say that since 1973, 74. During their worst years, I thought, you know what I mean? But sheesh, they told me this bad worst start since 1999. I don't know about that. I've seen some bad football play in the late 70s from the team, but I got to check that out. But if that's what they said, that's what they said. But a lot of cats is like, well, we know what happened in 1999, in 2000, we did our thing. Nah, in 2000, in 1999, and in 2000, we had Donovan McNabb, we had Deuce Stanley, Brian Dawkins, etc., and etc. And we had a proven dude somewhere, Andy Reid, because we knew he did deal with Brett Favre. We did know he was around Paul Holmgren. He had some cachet with him. Not this dude. They tried to give him some cachet, certain things. No. We know that's not enough. And his defense coordinator ain't got enough cliche. Now, with all that being said, Jalen Hurts has not really, the whole team have not made no incremental steps to get better. Not at all. I don't see it. I have not seen it. Jalen Hurts finished 18 for 34, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. I'm not going to blame that fumble on him because that was not him. That was Driscoll. He finished with a 94.7 rating. He ran the ball 13 times for 61 yards and stuff. And like I said, I'm not going to blame that fumble on him because that could have made the game interesting, but they imploded after that. That's why I said the game was all downhill from there because that seemed like it took some out of them. And I had cats be like, yeah, but you know, if we would have scored that when he came down and no, man. No, Nick, no. And I'm going to tell you something else, Eagle fans, you don't want to hear. We got Detroit coming up, and we don't look like we're going to beat them. We don't look like we're going to beat Detroit. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to beat San Diego either. So by the next time you see me and Joe, we might be 2-7. 2-7. I mean, goodness gracious. How long is Jeffrey Lurrie going to let this go on? You got 2 novelists. Plus, our coach is a novelist. I don't know, fellas. I really don't know. I'm sitting up here lost for words because, you know, you should have seen me when I'm sitting over my Hovis. I was watching this game. I was just trying to figure out, you know, when have I seen so much confusion before? But I tried to think Rich Kotite, you know what I mean? But then when they put up that thing the other day. The worst start since 1999. I said, all right, I'll give him that. But I have not seen so much dysfunctionality since Rich Kotite. And we got this guy named Gannon, not Gannon, Jonathan Gannon. He's our defense coordinator. I mean, he's got to get it together. And you got these sportscaster dudes. They're not really telling you what's really going on. You should see them on Sunday. I mean, these Steve Lake and this Howard Eskin and that Speed Spadero. They are Philadelphia Eagle whipping boys. They are always trying to find, and you know what, don't get it twisted. If I need someone to give me hope, they are perfect. But if I want someone to tell me truth about my woman and why things ain't working, you don't want them to tell you. They're going to beat around the bush. But if you want to hear what goes on in Philly sports, you should listen to me for one. But no, other than that, I like, what's the boy, Mike? I think it's Mike Barrett, Ray Dillinger, and Seth. I mean, you can see they love their Eagles. But they understand the city that they're in. They know the city that they're in. Not those other boys. They trying to keep their parking lot spots. They trying to walk through Lincoln Financial Field and Citizen Bank and don't want to hurt the staff and the people's feelings because they done they done roasted them on their podcasts or on their TV specials and stuff like that. It's really bad. It's really bad. That's why, when you really can't, that's why I tell cats, if you watch your team like you say you watch your team, a lot of you dudes will know your team better than some of these analysts do. Because a lot of those analysts and stuff, you know what I mean? They're watching with they're not watching with a sincere eye. They watch it because they want these dudes to come to their golf benefit. They're watching because they want them to come to the whatever charity events they have. I'm not saying it's all about that, but it's all about keeping their job. And sometimes it's about watering it down to the fans if they have to. Because, maybe one of them came to, you went a little hard on it. I'm trying to do, You want to get that interview when that coach comes down that line after a loss or a win and still get that interview without, that coach knowing. Every time I see this dude, he's dogging me out. I don't see them letting Seth do that because Seth gives it to him and he's going to ask him that hard question. Now, now speaking about Seth, he made some interesting statements about our defense coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. Now, those who don't know Jonathan Gannon, he's a young man, learning the game just like our head coach. But he has some interesting sayings. Tell me how y'all feel about this. I'm going to let y'all listen in.
They're predictable every single down. Every single down. Okay, they're either in a four-man front, with coverage behind it, and the guys don't move. They don't give you any kind of inclination. When the linebackers line up and the safeties and the corners line up, they line up and they're going to be exactly where they're going to be. And the quarterback, when you have elite level quarterbacks like they faced, you cannot do that because you give away coverage in the pre-snap read. So he knows where he wants to go with the ball right now, so we can talk about them not being able to get pressure. But those things kind of work hand in hand, okay? Because if a quarterback gets a pre-snap read, he's already made up in his mind where the weakness is and where he's going to attack before he even gets the ball in his hands, okay? So now, is Jonathan Gannon going to sit back with 3 coverages and 2 fronts and think that he's going to stop elite level offenses in this league? It's just not going to happen. We heard, on the broadcast, he's got to bring some blitzes. He got to do some things different. Listen, you can scheme up run blitzes that are they're just for the runs, okay? You can scheme up pass blitzes in certain situations to put pressure on the quarterback where you give him one read and one read only, and he better make the right read.
Like they do to us.
Because if he doesn't, he's on his back, okay? I don't see any of that. So they're extremely vanilla, and they're really elementary in everything they do. And then when I look at the players, okay, it's always said that players take on the personality of their coach, okay? So if you want to talk about the defensive coach, let's look at his personality. His play calling is passive. He's non-aggressive. What are the players? What message does that send to the players? So they're going to play non-aggressive and passive, okay? They're technically, they're unsound. They go to their 5-man line, okay? And I'm tired of watching Denard Avery and Josh Sweat and all of those guys line up with the wrong foot up, okay? Derek Barnett, he gets a ball that bounces outside on the run play, on the touchdown by Josh Jacobs. If he's standing the proper way and he's playing the proper technique, that should be a tackle for a loss. He gets outside of him, touchdown, okay? Then you turn around, you get the same thing with Denard Avery. He's lined up on the left side with his inside foot back and his outside foot up. So when the play comes,
So when the play comes, he has to shift foot and oh well, I don't know. I don't see us beating the Detroit Lions. I don't see us beating the San Diego Chargers. I think we're going to be 2-7. I don't know, fella. But what I do know, your man Disco, he getting a little hungry. Talk to you again. Peace.
Welcome, the Hood Announcement. This edition to the Hot Seat, we try to bring you a perspective of the 215 Delaware Valley and what really goes on with the heartbeat of Philadelphia and the sports that sets the tempo. Give me 3 for a quarter. See if you like it. Smell me?